Over here. Can you say, g'day guys, welcome back to this week's fishing report. I'm your special guest, Kai. Welcome to the show, Kai. Got anything to say for me? Anything to say to all the fans? Might you want to eat the microphone? Just wants to eat the microphone, but g'day guys, welcome back to this week's fishing report. We have a special guest with us today. We have my little 9-month-old baby, Kai, who's just about ready to start fishing. Well, I think he is, but his mum doesn't think just yet. His mum thinks it might take a few more months, but I'm here to say that I think it actually will happen pretty soon. So, getting into the fishing report for this week, there's been some salmon being caught around both the Botany Bay and the Port Hacking region. How excited are you about salmon? Do you want to catch one day? Nope, just like me. The salmon that have been around lately have been caught in the deeper parts of the bays, both in the Port Hacking here around Southwest Arm and Lillypilly, but also in the Botany Bay region around the deeper areas of the river system, mainly because we've had a lot of rain lately and a lot of the fish have gone deep and a lot of the bait has followed it. So where the bait will go, the fish will certainly follow, and that's where they've sort of been over the last week. People have been catching them on bait, so pilchards, but also people have been catching them on deep diving lures and hard bodies as well. Using your sounder has been the key to being able to find these guys over the last week or two. Bream have also been caught over the last week, again on our rocky foreshore areas, all areas that have been holding a lot of really nice structure along the deeper edges of our river systems. That's been the key. The shallow edges that are 2 meters and less, the bream have been very scarce. But the rocky edges that drop off into 5 or 6 meters pretty quickly, that's where they've been hanging out, along with the estuary perch as well. They've been around there too. People have been using lightly weighted soft plastics and hard bodies to be able to catch their feed of bream and estuary perch. The jewfish as well have been caught at night time most of the week this week. Also, there's been a few nice catches during the day, but the majority of the fish for the dewies have been at night time, fishing around the bridges using soft plastics, and some bait, some live bait as well, have been the key for that during the week. Few boats over the last weekend have braved the cold, wet and blustery conditions to be able to head out offshore and target some snapper. I think that's mainly because it's been about 6 weeks since anyone has been able to go out and target some snapper. They've headed out offshore with some really, really good success, catching some nice snapper up to till 60 centimetres in shallow, inside less than 30 metres of water. Excuse me? Do you want to talk about the snapper? You're not really interested in the snapper. You're interested in your hat. Okay. You keep doing that and Dad will keep going with the report, hey? So, the snapper have been caught on plastics and bait in less than 30 metres of water over the weekend. Fishing shallow at sunrise at sunset has been the key for that. Moving on to this weekend's fishing report. So the fishing weather for this weekend, for Saturday, we've got a really, really nice day out. We've got 10 to 15k norwesterly breeze all day, with a slight chance of showers with a top of 18 degrees. Looking at the report, we've got a nice low tide at 8:14 a.m. So that could be a very key part of the day. In the morning, we've got a tide change around close enough to a sunrise, with sunrise at about 6:30. We've got a moonrise also around that time at about 5:50. So we've got 5:50 moonrise, 6:30 sunrise, and an 8:14 low tide for that morning fishing session. So we've got 3 things roughly pretty close to each other there. So looking at to be able to go for a fish on Saturday and looking at what we would want to do, we need to be targeting our low light and our tide changes are the 2 things we're looking at over the weekend. Because our moon phase being just coming off the back end of the full moon, we should see some fishing start to slow down in the next week. So what you want to do is start to think about using other things that affect the fishing. So we're looking at tide changes and sunrise and sunset. Excuse me. Hello. So like I said, fishing at sunrise and sunset is going to be the key. If we're heading out offshore, we've got some beautiful swell of 0.4 and 12 seconds. So it's going to be hopefully like an absolute lake out there. That's where I'll be heading out offshore because it's been quite a while since I've been able to do that. Do you want to have a sit with Dad? I feel like you want to have a sit with Dad. Yeah. So fishing out offshore, we're going to be targeting a snapper really, really early in the morning. Going to be fishing for snapper on Saturday morning from about 6 o'clock to 8:30. But you're going to fish that tide change and also that sunrise. Moving into the river, we're going to be looking for salmon. So looking for our salmon, we're going to be either using the drone to be able to fly around areas and see if they're hanging nice and high up in the water column. If the water is really dirty still, I'd be heading to my deeper parts of the rivers. Okay, so Botany Bay, we're looking in the deeper parts of that bay, and then we're looking in Southwest Arm and Lillypilly for our salmon on the Saturday. If we're not looking for snapper or salmon in the river, we can also target our bream and estuary perch at the moment. I know I've been harping on about them over the last couple of weeks, but they are just on fire. They are so easy to catch as of late. So targeting them on hard bodies and lightly weighted soft plastics underneath boat moorings and rocky foreshore lines have been so crucial over the last weekends. So Sunday has a very similar conditions to Saturday. The only difference between Saturday and Sunday is there's going to be a bit of rain about. There's a bit of a chance of rain. So it says 80% chance of rain with 5 to 10 mil. But when we look at it in a lot of depth and detail, a lot of that rain is in the northern parts of Sydney. So if we are fishing in Botany Bay and Port Hacking, we're expecting maybe a mil or two around midday. So if you can fish early morning or late afternoon and wake up in the morning, just check the radar, see if there's any rain on the way, and then make your decision from there. That'd be good. Sunday, we've got a northwesterly breeze again throughout the day, 15 to 20 kilometres an hour, so a bit higher than Saturday. We have similar swell conditions of 0.5 and 12 seconds, so again, it hopefully will be like a lake out there on the weekend. I feel like Sunday might be the better day to be out offshore, although the rain will be about, purely because that swell has been at a lower level for a longer period of time. So it seems to calm down over a longer period of time. Again, with our tide changes and our moonrise and moonset being roughly about 9 o'clock in the morning, do you have something to say? What do you want to say? Say, go fishing this weekend. We don't just eat it, we talk into it. Again, back to what we were talking about. So we've got a really nice swell to be able to go out offshore and some nice low tide conditions in the morning with a tide change at about 9:50 a.m. This is perfect for us to be able to go out Sunday morning. So if we're thinking about what times to fish, I'm definitely targeting Sunday morning as my time to go fishing. So definitely our Sunday morning is going to be the time to go for a fish. If we're going out Sunday morning and there's not a lot of rain about, excuse me, thank you. There you go. So Sunday morning is looking to be the best time to be able to go for a fish on Sunday. Mainly because of that, again, that tide change. We've got low winds in that time of morning, and there's a lot of things lining up for that to be able to go out offshore. I'm going to be targeting snapper early in shallow on soft plastics. You hold it with that. Then also I'm going to be targeting flathead as the day goes on, and also some squid. So about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'll switch tack and go for some squid and flathead to see if I can't top off the day with some nice fish there. If we're going to be fishing in the river and we can't go out offshore, again, salmon is going to be the targeting fish. Depending on how the water clarity is, if it's nice and clear, I'm going to be using lightly weighted soft plastic and spinning them along the top of the water column. If not, I'd be trolling very, very slow, deep diving hard bodies in our deeper parts of our systems to be able to target our salmon. Again, early is best on Sunday. And it just depends on what you want to target. If you want to go to the river, you can target your bream and your estuary perch and your salmon. If you're heading out offshore, again, you can target a multiple range of fish. So that's going to do it for today's report. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans? Can you say like and subscribe, everyone? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to hear from us next. We want to say, don't forget to go to Seven Seas Apparel. Use code REALFishing10. That's REEL Fishing 10 to save yourself 10% off anything Seven Seas Apparel. Dad's got the lovely jumper and hat on today from Seven Seas Apparel. Don't forget to head over to sevenseasapparel.com. Check out any of the merchandise and lures that they've got there. And yeah, as always, use code REALFishing10. That's REEL Fishing 10 to save yourself 10% off at checkout. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Say bye-bye. See you next week.